Yeah, hi. Welcome to Civils Online, your affordable personal coach. This is part of Civils Exam Current Affairs series, and this is your daily dose of current affairs. So, this is for the date Saturday, 13th February 2016. So, reading complete Hindu newspaper can be hectic and time consuming. So, we have given a topic of interest for today, and we discussed in detail about the topic, and also we have given other important items so that they will be in your memory from time to time, and we will discuss each topic day by day, and slowly we'll be covering all the important topics in detail that is required for civils preparation. So just go through this. So today's topic of interest is President's rule in Arunachal Pradesh, and there are questions raised over governor's discretionary powers. So the actual problem started when a section of MLAs out of the ruling party, Congress, came out and they said they are no longer supporting the government. Even the BJP MLAs, 11 in number, came in support of this rebel group. The total house has 60 members. Even the deputy speaker is among the ones who rebelled. Then the Congress moved a motion for removal of the deputy speaker, while the rebels, along with BJP's support, moved for removal of the speaker. So the crisis led to the events where the speaker was unable to convene the session of the assembly within the stipulated time, leading the governor to suggest for president's rule, which was implemented on January 26th. So this is about the news. We will go behind this news to find the important points that are required for our civils preparation. So what is the case in point? So it's basically governor versus speaker. So governor would have, yeah, definitely there is a minority of the government that has to be proved on the floor of the assembly. So the governor ideally should have called for the floor test. But what the governor did is he advanced the session of the assembly by invoking Article 174(1) of the Constitution. And also he directed that the first item on the agenda for the session should be removal of the speaker. So he directed Deputy Speaker to preside over such session as per the Article 181(1) because during a resolution for removal of the Speaker is going on, though he present, Speaker cannot preside over such session, only Deputy Speaker has to take care of the session. In doing so, the Governor claimed complete discretion. Generally, he is abide by the aid and advice of the Chief Minister and his cabinet. But in this instance, he said he is using his discretionary powers. It is not bound by the advice of the Chief Minister and his Council of Ministers. So what the rebels did, the Speaker and the Chief Minister strongly resisted the advanced session of the Assembly. But the dissidents, joined by the 11 BJP members and 2 more independents, hold the session in a makeshift assembly on December 16th and 17th, during which they elected former finance minister as the leader of the house. And in addition, they also passed the removal of the speaker. So the president's rule is imposed. The speaker is unable to convene the assembly within the stipulated time of 6 months as per the constitution, which led to the imposition of president's rule in the state. So what the ruling party says, the Congress argues that there is no provision in the constitution or in the rules of the procedure of the assembly that empowers the governor to advance the session of the assembly without consulting the chief minister and his council of ministers. The case came to the Supreme Court's doorstep, where the Supreme Court's constitutional bench is taking care of this controversy, where it questioned the governor's constitutional discretion to advance the assembly session, and also it asked whether it is backed by sound constitutional principles or based on mere whim. So it questioned, did he get into the character of the speaker? Is there any urgency to remove the speaker? When referring to the past judgments in similar cases, because this president's rule has been used and misused by different governments from time to time since the independence, so there are some landmark judgments in the past through which court is able to find a solution. So referring to the past judgments, the Supreme Court said A governor cannot assume constitutional discretion unless such powers are expressly provided in the specific articles of the Constitution. So here the governor used Article 174(1), but that article is not directly saying that the governor has these discretionary powers without consulting the chief minister and his council. So the court presumes that the aid and advice of the chief minister and council is required. So the case is in the constitutional bench consideration and the arguments are going on. So behind this backdrop, we have to find the important terms. So Article 356 is important here. This is talking about President's rule. So Article 356 is part of Part 18 emergency provisions of the Constitution, where different kind of emergencies are defined, how they have to implement it, how they have to be revoked, how the legislatures has to act. Such kind of things are given in these emergency provisions part of the Constitution. So particularly Article 356 talks about President's rule in a state, that is state emergency. In an event that a state government is not able to function as per the Constitution, then the state comes under direct control of the central government. In other words, the executive authority is exercised through the centrally appointed governor, who is the authority uh, to rule the state in the name of president, and he appoints different officers to assist him. And there is Article 365 as well, where it says if a state fails to comply with or to give effect to any of the directions of the center, the president can go for president's rule. So this is actually part of Article 356, which strengthens the argument that the constitutional machinery has failed in a particular state. So Article 174(1), we already discussed about it. The governor is the one who summons the House of the Assembly. It's not the speaker. Speaker is the one, once the assembly's sessions summoned, he takes care of the proceedings of the session. He is the master in the proceedings of the session. But governor is the one who summons the session. But as we discussed, there is explicit uh, thing that he has to follow the advice of the chief minister or the council of ministers. Article 181(1), and about the removal of the speaker, we already discussed that the deputy speaker will preside, and the speaker should not preside over the session in which his removal resolution is going on. Floor test or motion of no confidence: when ruling party is challenged of its majority, it has to prove its strength. Then discretionary powers of the governor. Yes, governor have some discretionary powers. These are discussed here, but these are used in certain conditions, in the case of bills or in the case of emergency, etc. So who is the leader of the house? He is a majority party or majority coalition's leader in the house. So judicial review of the imposition of president's rule by the Supreme Court. So there is a famous case, Bommai case in 1994, and other following judgments where Supreme Court laid down clear restrictions on imposition of the president's rule in a state under Article 356. So imposition of president's rule is also subject to judicial review. So the court can actually, verify the reasons behind imposition of the president's rule. So this is about imposition of president's rule in Arunachal Pradesh, and our question whether the governor acted on behalf of speaker or did he used his discretionary powers properly or not. Uh, so to know more about information on this particular topic, the powers of governor, the discretionary powers of the governor, how the assembly is conducted, what are the powers of the president, uh, leader of the house, such kind of things, you can refer to the Constitution of India book by PM Bakshi, where all the direct articles are given. Or for the detailed explanation and simplified explanation, you can refer Indian Polity book by Lakshmikant. So this is about the topic of interest for today. Another news items of importance: government acts tough on JNU student leader charged with sedition for pro-Afjal, and anti-India slogans, and sedition case against former professor also. Is spirituality only for men? Supreme Court asks Sabrimala authorities. Supreme Court refuses to quash trial in National Herald case involving Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi. But they have got interim relief that they are not required in person to attend this case. Following protests, Terry asks Pachauri to go on leave. In 5 years, detection of black money goes up by 15.5 times. Al-Qaeda operative paid for reconnaissance, says David Headley. It's part of the revelations by David Headley. Devadasi system, Supreme Court wants states to crack the whip. Cricket, Team India thrashes Sri Lanka by 69 runs, leveling the series. Government continues its efforts of its campaign Make in India. No need for exaggerated panic regarding economy, says Finance Minister Arun Jaitley. Plastic cards may soon go out of fashion for money transactions and smartphones to be used instead, says National Payments Corporation of India, for which Nandan Nilekani is advisor. IIP, Index of Industrial Production, shrinks 1.3% in December. So other international items of importance: major powers agree to plan for cessation of hostilities in Syria, and India and USA deny any plans for joint patrols in South China Sea. So this is about today's daily dose of current affairs. Stay tuned for more videos daily, and you can also attend a free online Civils Foundation course February batch, that is for prelims 2016. And class timings are from Monday to Friday, every day evening 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. You can just directly log in through your computer with internet. For login information or any other information regarding the course, you can visit www.civilsonline2016.blogspot.in, or just contact us at below contact details so that we can guide you through. So this is Civils Online.